Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk about is military members uneducated. So the answer is no, not all military members is uneducated. So you know that in other countries, especially in Asian, they will not think military members as a high educated people. And the reason why most Asian do not think military members are high educated is because in Asian, most of the country military service is mandatory, it's not voluntary. So, for example, South Korea, every man have to serve in the military for at least 18 months. So no matter how rich you are, even some people are very famous K-pop idols, very famous actor, but they still have to join the military. It's just the responsibility is mandatory. And for Vietnam, it's mandatory too, like for males that like over 18 years old, and then the government will found and said, oh, you need to serve your responsibility in the military for 2 years. So I haven't been in Vietnam for many years, so I do not know if there are new updates or not. But before, when I was in Vietnam, right, there was a rules that if you're like 18 years old and you're healthy, right, and if you're male, you have to join the military, but they can waive you if you go to a university. Like you go to the university, you pass the test, which is a very hard test to get into the university, and you learn to be a doctor or engineers or some jobs that require you to go to university, right, then they can waive those. And most of the men that have to serve in military is the men that like fail the college entrance test and they cannot go to college and they have to serve in the military. I do not know did they change, but I heard some rumors that now even if you pass the college entrance test, you go to university to study, you still have to serve 2 years, and when you don't, and you can go to college. So if it's a lot of men do that, right, and of course we have dumb people and smart people, we have uneducated and educated people all around the world. If everyone have to do that, then yeah, military service member can be uneducated. But it's different in America. So in the USA, military is voluntary, like you volunteer to join. And to join the US military, you have to meet their requirement, you have to meet their expectation, whether you have to pass their test or like the physical fitness standards. There are requirements you need to pass, you need to work hard in order to join. It's not that everyone can join. So that's why it's not true when you say that like all military service members uneducated. Especially in the USA, military have two sides. It's called enlisted side and officer side. So for officer side, it is not easy, because they need to be US citizen, they need to have a bachelor degree or higher, and they have to go through a very competitive selection process. So most of the officers need to have at least a bachelor degrees. And what about the enlisted side? The enlisted side do not require you to have any degree, like associate degree or bachelor degree. They just require you to have a high school diplomas. So but that doesn't mean that enlisted side is not educated. So there are some enlisted members that have degree, like they have like associate degree, bachelor degree, or master degree. But there are some enlisted members that do not have a degree. So you know that people join the military because many reasons, but there are large percentage of people join because they want to go to school. It sounds funny, right? Because to go to the college in America is very expensive, especially if you learn to be a lawyer or a doctor or a pharmacist. It's very expensive. Some people have to be in debt to be in those schools, you know. But for military, you have free education. So a lot of people actually join the military because they want to go to school and they want to have education. And think about this, if someone want to go to the college or the school to the point that they're willing to join the military, they're gonna do good at school. Like, because think about this, they risk their life, they risk their freedom, they have to be far away from their family to have a chance to go to school. And you know that if you give a lot, you will work hard, right? If, like, for example, if your parents pay for all of your tuition and they do not expect you to do well at school, right? Then you go to school and then you just relax, have a sweet time, take your time. But for people that to go to school, they have to compensate a lot. They have to work 2 or 3 jobs, they have to pay all of their tuition. Then they will try their best, they will work hard because they fight for it. So that's why for people that join the military to have the opportunity to go to school, they definitely will do good at school. And the funny thing is, there are a lot of people that join the military because they hate school. I have known many friends that they told me that I really hate school. That's why when I graduated from my high school, I joined the military right away. So I have a job, I have a stability, I have a stable income, right? And I can have experience so that later on I have a job and I don't have to go to school, I don't have to go to college. Yes, there are people that like that. But you know what the funny thing is that? So when I first came to my first unit, right? And I was so surprised that a lot of my friends, they went to school on their free time. And it is not easy, you know, because like for us Marines, right? Sometimes we have to wake up at 4 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. or 5 a.m. to do PT with his physical training. Some of us may have to go to the field, the range, to practice shooting, you know, to practice in combat and to learn like martial arts, like. And we off work like at about 4 or 5 p.m. And some people after off work and they come back, they went to school, they really went to school. And it's been that they're busy a whole day. And I wonder why, because being in the military it's not that easy to go to school, you know, because think about this, you work more than a full time. If your unit require you to do exercise, workout or PT in the morning, right? It means that you have to do your full-time job, you have to do some other duty, like you have to work out, you have to maintain physical fitness, sometimes you have to do duty, you have to do a lot. But there's some people that they still go to school. But why they go to school but they hate school? Like the military do not force you to go to university or college. No, they do not force you to go to university or college. But a lot of people decided to do that because they want money. So you know that the US government, right, they will assist you to go to university by giving you financial aid, which is called FAFSA. But usually to have a grants, free money from it, right, you need to be low income. Like for example, right, if you are under 24 years old and you have parents, and they do not just count your income, they count your income and your parents' income. And when you have those, all of that income together, it is difficult to be considered low income household, and you will not have much money from financial aid. But military is different. The thing is, because military, they do, even though you're young, a lot of people join the military when you are 17 years old or 18 years old, but they count you as an independent. You're not dependent, because when you're in military, you're not independent anymore. Oh no, you're not dependent anymore. You're not dependent from your parents. You now the man one, right? And your wife or your child or even your parents can be your dependents. That is funny, right? So there's no requirement that, oh, because if you're a normal citizen, right, you have to be over 24 years old to be independent, and they will not count your parents' income as your household income. But when you join the military, right, you can be 17 years old, 18 years old, but they consider you an independent student, and they give you more money for financial aid. And financial aid, they pay you money based on a lot of things, but one factor is about your study status, like whether you study full-time or part-time. Like the more time you study, the more money. Like if you study full-time, they will give you more money than part-time. And that in military, right, you have the fixed income. Like your income cannot change if you have that rank. Like if your rank is first, 2, 3, your rank is not changed. It just changed when you pick up the rank, but it's not too much different, So think about this. You do a job, no matter how hard you work so much, you still have the same money like people that don't work. So the only time that you want to have more money is that you need to have a second job. And a lot of people are actually smart. They decided to go to school to have the extra money from financial aid, and they have educated. Like, it's very smart. And of course, it's not easy. Not a lot of people can do that. It's not easy because you have to work hard, and the only time for you to relax is you have to study, so it's very stressful. But some people actually do that. Yeah, it's so funny. That's why the first time when I come to my first duty station, and my friends was like, oh, do you want to go to school? Like, we go to school like so that we have money to go shopping. Like, oh, you should go to school with us. You know what, if you go to school, you have this money and you can have more money. And what about people that do not go to school? Do they uneducated? So I do not like how people like think educated or uneducated just based on your degree level or like your college level, because I know a lot of people have a degree, but they are dumb, they are stupid, and they're not that good. And I know a lot of people that do not have a degree, do not go to school, but they're very smart, a very wise person, and very good at their job and life. Because a lot of people, if they learn, they like constantly learn, they can learn from a lot of different sources. They can learn from other people, they can learn from the books, like they can learn from when they're at work, that there's a lot of way for you to learn if you want to learn. So that's why a lot of people is actually very educated for me, even though they do not have a degree. And another thing to consider is that the military do not force you to go to the college or university, but they will force you to do their training. It's mandatory. So it's not that you join the military and you immediately work. Like, they will train you. You need to go to basic training, you need to go to technical school. And even though you already learn a job, and some job they require you to constantly training, there's constantly updates, and they force you to learn, to go to their school. So technically you still go to school even though you are in the military, and their training is pretty good. Like, depending on your job, they will train you in many different things, like maybe about medical or legal, engineering, supply, logistic, finance. There are a lot of classes, a lot of school. Okay, that's all for the video today. Thank you so much for watching my videos, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.